Hello, my beautiful golden viewers of gold. Inspire yourself with the words that will make you to take the right actions. Tell yourself that you're here to do good and greater things. There is enough of negativity out there, but the world needs people like you to make it better. In making it better, we agreed to accompany you throughout this journey called life. My beautiful souls, Gold is an inspirational show that is here to make you feel your oats, give you hopes, and encourage you to go for gold. Are you ready to go for gold? If you're ready, and I'm ready, let's go for gold.
There's a challenge that you have now, but it's only because you haven't grown beyond your capacity to handle that challenge. If you go back and develop yourself and come back to the challenge, you'll be able to overcome it. So that man can go back and train and get fit and come back and climb Mount Everest and conquer it.
The response that came from there was very huge, and it really excited me that, you know what, at least people still have the heart to help.
Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, and it doesn't even matter what your abilities are. The truth is that when you find your purpose, or when your purpose finds you, you'll find meaning and fulfillment beyond that you are able to explain.
Purpose means the reason for which something exists, or for which something is done, or for which something is created. Why were you created? You were created to make a positive impact in the world around you. People around you must be happy. And guess who's responsible for that? You. Because if people around you are happy, you will be happy. Remember, the purpose of human life is to be happy. Pray about it and find the reason why you were created, just like our golden champion of the day. Our champion is here. Be inspired and go for gold. On Gold, we spotlight people who turned survival into success. Our champion's journey began in an environment that offered few advantages, but it turned every challenge into fuel. His favorite quote is, "Every opportunity must be seized in the lifetime of that opportunity." He did, from managing a room to managing estates to being the founder and the CEO of AdProp. My friend Witness is our witness that with relentless effort, we can prepare to hear a story that glows with purpose. Go for gold with our champion.
My name is Witness Mdaka. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm happy to be on Gold to share some nuggets with the viewers and everybody else that's listening. Something that's happening in the world right now, I can say that there is an awakening in Africa. You know, an awakening where Black people are starting to discover who they are, who they've always been, and what they're capable of. And we see it in our youth. Young people have a hunger to start their own businesses. Young people have a hunger now more than before to take life upon themselves and live it on their own terms. You know, although we've got what may seem as though there's a dependence on government, right? What I've seen with the work that I'm doing, I've seen that a lot of young people have got the hunger to develop themselves, the hunger to make something of themselves. And that for me is beautiful, particularly when I look at it and see it in Africans. I'm definitely successful because every single day I get to wake up and chase the person I believe God wants me to be. You know, and what I mean by that is that the day I die, right? And I face God and He plays a video of me and He plays that video. I want my life to match the exact same video that God would have been playing. And that for me would be heaven. And then hell for me would be God playing a video and my life is totally opposite from what God is playing. So success for me is waking up every morning and living a life that has got purpose. And what I mean by that, I do not mean that people who chase wealth or anything like that are not successful. They might be because that's how they define success, because success means different things to different people. My mother was a nurse for 32 years. Now, my mother's ability to look out for and care for other people is success. For her, waking up in the morning at the time right? She's late now, but I believe she lived a purpose-driven life, because even at the time when she had a stroke and she was not well, she forced to go back to work. Why? To serve and to look after people, to care for people, to care for the community. She was a successful nurse, right? And another person builds a successful business. Like me, I've built a successful business, right? And I look at it, I look at that and say, I'm successful. So there's a quote by a gentleman called Leonard Ravenhill. He's a revivalist. He says, the opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of that opportunity. The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized in the lifetime of that opportunity. That's one of my favorite quotes, and it's one of my favorite quotes because it makes one realize that a door of opportunity opens, but that door will someday close, right? I'm young today. You called me a young man. That's a door of opportunity. I won't be a young man forever. One day I'll be old. So what is it? It's an opportunity of a lifetime that I have to use in the lifetime of this opportunity, because the word young expires. I will not be young forever, right? So for every single person listening and they're at home and they're thinking, I'll always be young, I'm having fun, the door will close at some point, one way or another. It works the same in the business world. Some opportunities are not going to be there forever, right? They open and they close. And the other quote, restlessness is discontent. And discontent is the first necessity for progress. Show me a thoroughly satisfied man, and I'll show you a failure. And I'm going to say it again. Restlessness is discontent, and discontent is the first necessity for progress. Show me a thoroughly satisfied man, and I'll show you a failure. Somebody who says, what is a thoroughly satisfied man? I've achieved all I could. But you can do more, you can impact more people, you can change more lives, you can do more than you have, right? The minute you're satisfied, the minute you're not doing more than you're supposed to, you're a failure, according to the quote that Thomas Edison is giving us. And he's proved it himself. 10,000 tries to get the light bulb. The man could have said, listen, I'm satisfied, I've tried 5,000 times. But he continued until he could get it right. So for me, it's a constant reminder that when you reach the top of the mountain, it's the beginning of the climb of the next mountain. The minute you start to realize what makes you a significant person, you are going to understand what your purpose is. And by significance, I mean you have to look at the things that either aggravate you or the things that excite you. If you're aggravated by poverty, then it means that you need to be working on a solution to solve poverty. If you're excited by seeing other people prosper, then that's where your significance is going to be tied to. I mean, I wrote this book. I wrote it because I want to see other people prosper and do well. That's where my level of significance is tied to. It's tied to the fact that I want to see other people also becoming what God has destined for them to become. If you look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg is connecting God's other children. He's making it possible for God's other children to connect. If you look at the work that Gold TV is doing, they're making it possible for God's other children to be inspired and to be given hope.
It is not magic. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Our desire is to go for a short and inspiring break on gold. We are coming back to do the undone. Right here on gold. Gold is the ultimate. Benjamin describes the benefactor as the representative of God. And I say, if your heart is golden, then our world will be golden. So be kind, be good, be generous, be useful, be an angel, be inspired by the golden heart of the day, and let your heart be golden. Help somebody today, tomorrow, and every single day.
My name is Sibongile Mdaka. I am a mother of two, and I'm the director or the founder of Jenaya Foundation. The projects that we have accomplished successfully is the Christmas party for the children in Kaya Sense, informal settlements. So we work very closely with a community leader in Kaya Sense Informal Settlements, where we feed 100, we choose 100 kids in the community that we have a Christmas party with every year. The second one is we work also together with one of the other community projects around, where we do a jumbo sale every month, and then the proceedings that we get from we help the underprivileged with the money that we get from there. So that is a very successful project that we have as well. And we also work very closely with preschools in Cosmo City. So we have sponsors or people that are doing away with toys, or maybe they have blankets and all of those. Then we identify the preschools that need help, that are in need. Then we also help them. And yeah, I know I'm more than on two. I think I'm on the third one. Okay, the fourth and last one. We as Janaya Foundation, we've got a preschool that we have under us. That one is not a non-profit preschool, but under the preschool, we always have 2 or 3 students that we take that do not pay school fees. So maybe the mother is a helper, or she's not working, still looking for a job, but needs some way to have the child taken care of, daycare, and that foundation phase, which is very important for the students. So that's very successful. Also, we do run it every year. So every year at Best Beginners Preschool, we do have 2 or 3 students that do not pay. I love your question. I think what I love that's going on in the world is that now people are aware that there's a lot of people that need us out there. I'll give you an example. In December, someone contacted me and they say there's this lady, she's got a child, the child is blind and he can't walk, and she's about to be sent out, like the landlord wants to check them out of the house because they haven't been paying rent for like 3 months or so. I spoke to my friend, Landy, and then she put an advert, like, put it out there on Facebook that, okay, we've got this. We did a small video of this child that she's feeding through the tube and everything. And I think within an hour, we managed to raise the rent. We managed to raise money for food, and we managed to get secondhand clothes, and people were eager to help. Like, the response that came from there was very huge, and it really excited me that, at least people still have the heart to help.
There is a plan, a purpose, and a value to every life, no matter what its location, age, gender, or disability. A nice one from Sharon Engel. From my own angle, I'm saying, be inspired by people who came before us, our kings, our queens, our heroes, our sheroes. Be inspired by the golden nugget of the day, because it is for you.
Hi there, welcome to Gold. My name is Jabu. I'm a mindset development specialist who specializes in leadership training, marriage counseling, relationship coaching, and also executive coaching. I would like to share my golden nugget with you today. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, what is my purpose? The reality is that all of us do have a purpose. There's a reason why we are here on earth. It doesn't matter your origin. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't even matter what your abilities are. The truth is that we are all born for a reason. How do you find your purpose? You may want to know. I want to ask you this question. When you hang around with people, when you live with people, what do they often say is the one thing that they like from you? What do they experience from you? Is it your humor? Is it the fact that you can solve problems? Is it the fact that you've got a unique way of thinking? Is it because you've got some technical skill? What is the one thing that people come to you the most, that when you do it, you don't feel like you're doing anything, but you get surprised at the degree of response? People seem to think that this is an incredible thing, but for you, it is nothing. A friend of mine, Ian the Morpheus, has once said this. He said that, you find your purpose when you're operating in your genius. And your genius is something that when you do it is so easy for you, you feel like you should not get paid, but others are willing to pay the most for. It typically is something that solves people's problems. It is typically something that makes other people's life easier, more comfortable, more happier. What is that? Because it is only when you are able to answer that question that you are able to live in your purpose. And when you live in your purpose, there is a certain sense of confidence, a certain sense of comfort, and even the way that you're experiencing life in general is so much nicer, is so much lighter, so much more meaningful, because you are experiencing your significance in action. And your purpose, most importantly, also is connected to your authenticity. And your authenticity is the most important component of your currency, which is also the most important component of what makes your purpose more original, more unique. So, in answering this question and also encouraging you to find your purpose, pay attention to what people are saying, pay attention to what you do with ease, pay attention to what to you is effortless, but to others seems like it's a lot, because it is in that you may actually find your purpose. As I started out with the statement, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, and it doesn't even matter what your abilities are. The truth is that when you find your purpose, or when your purpose finds you, you'll find meaning and fulfillment beyond that you are able to explain. This is me, Jabu, coming to you from Gold, and that was my golden nugget for the day.
The smallest act of caring for another person is like a drop of water. It will make ripples throughout the entire pond. I hope you do agree with me. Let us go for a short and inspiring break on Gold. We are certainly coming back. Keep it here and keep it golden, because gold is the ultimate. Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe in the impossible, and to trust in the unknown. Or faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. There is no way you can become a champion without having faith in God, because it takes faith to say, I will bounce back after challenges and tribulations. Our champion has faith in God, an absolute faith in God, an unwavering faith in God. If you have faith in God, you will also be a champion. Our golden champion of the day is still here, inspiring souls on Gold.
Relationships are better than money. There are certain people right now, if I needed my daughter to be picked up at school, I can pick up the phone and say, please pick up my daughter, I'm in an interview. I'm busy with something. I cannot buy that with money. Now, to have someone that I can trust with my own daughter, now that's gold. That is something that money cannot even buy. Number two, a good name is better than money. A good name. I always say this, I'm gonna work so hard and empower and impact so many people so that my daughter, when she wants to start a business, all she has to say is my father is witness Mdaka, and everybody will jump at the opportunity to help her. When you hear the name Mandela, we all want to help a Mandela. Why? It's a good name. It's a good name. That name is a name that has left a legacy, right? Whether we like it or not, those kids, if they need something done, all they have to say is my grandfather is Nelson Mandela. And somebody will jump at the opportunity to help them. So a story is told about a man who wanted to conquer Mount Everest, right? He tried a few times and he wasn't able to climb up the mountain and conquer it. And upon failing, he said these words to the mountain, I will come back and I will conquer you, because as a mountain, you cannot grow. But as a human being, I can grow. And that for me, it says that as human beings, we can grow, we can be better, we can develop ourselves, we can study, we can train, we can gym, we can learn, we can increase our emotional intelligence, we can increase our capacity to think. But challenges cannot grow bigger than us. Understand? There's a challenge that you have now, but it's only because you haven't grown beyond your capacity to handle that challenge. If you go back and develop yourself and come back to the challenge, you'll be able to overcome it. So that man can go back and train and get fit and come back and climb Mount Everest and conquer it. In my book, I wrote about the 3 F's. It's faith, family, finance. And I recently discovered that there are 2 more, friends and fitness. Now let me go through that. Faith. Your faith dictates your actions. Why do I say that? If you believe God wants you to be poor, are you going to work hard to be rich? Absolutely not, because your belief dictates your actions. If you believe that God wants you to amount to anything, to nothing, if you believe that God wants black people to suffer and you're black, you will accept any suffering. But if you've got faith and belief that God truly wants you to be the best human being that you can be and enjoy the best of God's earth, then you will go out every day and believe and work towards it, right? So your faith that you have, be it you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're a Hindu, if you believe that God wants you to be an exceptional human being, you will act consistent with that, because human beings will always be consistent with who they are. If you believe this is who you are, you're going to do that, right? A person that is high-pitched like myself is not going to come here and speak in a lower voice. Why? Because I'm being consistent with who I am. This is who I believe I am, so therefore I'm going to do this. And therefore I'm not going to act crazy, because my belief is that this is the person that I am. So your faith dictates the actions that you take. Now, secondly, family. The dreams and the visions that you have for your family dictate how much you work. If you want your child to graduate from Harvard, you're not going to work like somebody who wants their child to graduate from Wits, because your plans are different, right? This one is going just across the road, the other one is going across the sea. So meaning the plan and the vision that you have for your family dictates the work that you do on a daily basis, right? So the family part, the family aspect becomes a very important part of life. The kind of lifestyle you want your family to have, the kind of house, the kind of cars you want them to drive. Maybe you even want them to ride in a private jet. You're not going to work like someone who says, as long as we can catch a taxi, it's fine, right? If you're going far, you load yourself deep on your journey. If I need to drive to Cape Town today, my preparation for my journey will be a lot deeper than someone who's going to Johannesburg, because I'm going far, they're going closer. So I need to understand that in my family. Now, finance. Finance is an important part of life, right? Understanding exactly how much I need to make to live the kind of life and fulfill my dreams becomes a key driving force. So I cannot neglect that part of life. It's a key to success. Now, think about it. If I've got faith in God, good relationship with my God, whoever my God is, now in my case, it's Jesus, right? And then secondly, I've got a good relationship with my family. They love me. I've got a vision for my family. They're prospering. And I've got great financial success. What more do I need? I need friends, right? If I've got friends, I've got good relationships with people. I've developed the capacity to hold on to long-term relationships with people. These people add value in my life. I add value in their lives. My life is rich. And then lastly, I cannot enjoy all these things if I don't have good health. So which means I need to exercise on a daily basis. It becomes part of my values. When I wake up in the morning, my standard is I exercise. Not I need to lose weight, not I exercise, period. Why? Because I need to be able to walk my daughter down the aisle in 25 years' time. How do I get to do that? I need to look after myself, eat well, look after my health, be fit. I cannot have money, have faith in God, have a family, but I cannot run around with my kids. I cannot run around and spend time with my friends. So that for me, if I've got these 5 things, faith, family, finance, friends, and fitness, I've got everything that I need. So 5 things that are the major keys to success are faith, family, finance, friends, and fitness. If one has these things, they've got their major keys to achieving and getting their gold. So I would say, if you need help, help yourself first, because everybody wants to help a winner. Nobody wants to help a loser. People stay away from losers.
Achievement is about loving something intensely and following it diligently with your heart, and on top of it, doing it to the best of your ability. Remember, if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. Be the best of whoever you are, and be the best at whatever you do, and always go for gold. I'll see you next time on Gold. Go forth and prosper. Go for gold.